Hey everybody, welcome to the studio recap session for the song Don't Bang Your Head on the Toilet. This title raises a lot of questions. Unfortunately, I'm about to answer them. So I got the guitarist and the bass player into the studio to lay down their parts. We started with the drum track. This is what we started with. We got a kick, sub kick, snare top, snare bottom. We got 3 toms, 2 overheads, and 2 room mics. Okay, so first of all, this song used a couple of cheats, and I want to run through them with you. So if you guys are ever recording your own stuff, which you probably are, you may know these already, but you might be able to use them. So this song, it has like a verse, bridge, chorus cycle. Now what we kind of did, what I did with the drummer, and this was months ago when we laid down the drum tracks, we did a bit of a cheat where we recorded the song in 3 sort of pieces. So it's almost like recording 3 mini songs instead of one big one. So it makes it easier for the drummer to do the takes. He doesn't have to do a perfect take of the entire song. He's only has to do a perfect take of each cycle. And that's what we did. So you've got like a minute and a half of silence here, a minute and a half of silence here, and then we're going to stitch them together in Pro Tools. It's a cheat, but you know, it saves time in the studio. The second thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it ended with this chorus section, or what they're calling the chorus. It's just 4 stabs, just hit, nothing, hit, nothing, hit, nothing, hit. Right now, I don't know if you noticed, but the drummer is way out of time. You know, he slowed down in this section. So, and the little cheat that we're going to do is the guitarist and the bassist recorded their part, and it doesn't line up with the stabs because they're actually in time, whereas the drummer is not, of all stupid things. So we're going to be adjusting where the stabs land on the drum tracks in Pro Tools to make it actually in time. So there you go. So there's two cheats already. Now we brought the guitarist in and he laid down the following. I'm going to turn off the drums and hear what he did. This is what he did. Okay, pretty straightforward. And here's the bassist. And then this next part. And then you get the stabs. See how the stabs are out? So when you put the whole thing together, it sounds like this. Got the toms going here. And there you go. Now that's a cycle. So what they basically did is they re-recorded that again, and then the third one has some variations in it in the middle eighth, but basically they did it again. Now the weird thing is that the drummer sped up on each of these. So you get this one, that's the speed that you just heard. Then you get this one, which is slightly faster. Then you get this one, which is even faster than that. So whatever, it's going to be an interesting sounding song when this is all done. I'm actually not super convinced on this song yet. I guess I'll reserve judgment when I hear the vocals come in eventually, when we record that. Probably in another year at the rate we're going. But anyway, so I'm going to play you the middle eighth here. And you can see what they did. Now, the guitarist did some interesting stuff on that. Where's the middle eighth? Right here. Now, you can hear the tempo difference. Just hear that snare. Now, I'd like to show you something, okay? Now, this guitar doesn't have any EQ on it, okay? Now, what the temptation would normally be would be to add some EQ because it's very mid-range heavy. So what a lot of people might be tempted to do is do something like this. Here's the guitar. So when you combine that, it gives you like a more prominent guitar sound. You can hear what the guitar is doing. And I don't know if you noticed, but because the guitar was the same volume, but it was a lot more apparent volume because it was brighter. So that allows you to turn the bass up a little bit to maintain a perceived balance. And then you get a more full sounding mix because the drums don't change volume, but the guitar and the bass fill out the spaces between the drums a lot better. So there you go. Now, for this song, if anyone is wondering, has been following this, the speaker that we're using for this song, Don't Bang Your Head on the Toilet, is the Celestion Creamback. Now, it's interesting. There's two versions of the Creamback. One has the heavy magnet, and then the other one has the medium magnet, the medium-sized magnet. That's the more famous one of the two. That's the one that we have here. It's the medium magnet Creamback. Now, normally with this speaker, I actually like this speaker. It's my third favorite speaker for guitar. It's known for having a very good low mid-range sound. So it has the regular highs, the regular mids, but the bottom end, like the low mids, really fill in with the Creamback. It does not sound paper thin. It's got some weight to it, which is really kind of nice. I'm not talking about the low end chunk that you feel. I'm talking about 300, 400 cycles, somewhere in there. It sounds really good on the Creamback, but it's weird because we're recording this with an MD421 Mark II, and it's in the halfway position. So it's not in the center of the cone. It's not over by the edge, if this was like the speaker cone, right? It's halfway between the two, so it's like over here somewhere. It's not even on the cap edge. It's just sort of in the medium position, halfway between the edge and the center. And so as a result, you're getting a slightly duller sound than you normally would. And that's what explains that guitar sound that you heard without the EQ, the natural guitar sound. So I don't know if I'm really liking it, to be honest with you. I think, this is kind of a failed experiment. But once again, I'll reserve judgment until the final thing. So let me play you the entire song here as recorded. I'm going to turn off the EQ on the guitar, so this is like more what it's going to actually sound like, and we're going to follow it along here. Here we go. could hear how the drums are out of sync with what was actually in time. It's not repetitive at all. And there you go. I don't know if you noticed, but there was an actual final chorus at the end. At least the guitar and the bass played it, but there were no drum stabs with it like these other ones. So I guess we'll fly in these stabs or something and put it on there. I don't know what the band intends to do about that. Maybe it's just meant to not have any drums in it as the big finale. Is that an improvement? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Let me know what you thought in the chorus. Did I answer all the questions you had about this? I think I did a pretty good job of explaining that title. I don't understand the title. That's what they're singing about, I guess. Anyway, hopefully it speaks for itself. Thanks, guys. See you on the next video. Take care.